Good morning, everyone. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, everyone. So I'm alive. Welcome to Ksar Talk Show. Today is May 24th, 2019, and I'm drinking. I'm 10 minutes late. I'm drinking. Let me show you this. Uh, so this is fresh juice. This is banana, kiwi, orange, strawberry. This is luxury, and this is energy drink, just like Red Bull, but cheaper. Cheap is the definition of it. Uh, but actually, I like it better than Red Bull, and and so cheers. This is fresh juice. I'm kind of late today for 10 minutes, but there is one thing going on, which I like to say. That is about yesterday in my talk show. There was an incident. Let's go. And I'm going to talk about today JavaScript, the Unicode run, okay? Unicode runic. Okay, this is a fantastic thing. The runic script. Okay, and I'm going to show you actually here. Good morning, everyone. Paste, enter. Unicode run script. So you can translate and you see these are run scripts. But yesterday there's an incident. Yeah, there's an incident. I'm doing my talk show, and I was talking about Carl Sargon. Carl Benjamin, also known as uh, Sargon of Akkad. Now he's a famous YouTuber, controversial because of the Gamergate. That's how he became popular. So yesterday I was talking about that topic. That ends up me deleting the live stream. Now the issue is this, okay? I'm talking when you are talking about political sensitive topic, then I'm doing live stream. Then someone, your friend, your followers, okay? There's a guy Daniel. Okay, so he, someone, made comments. They disagree and they make comments about it. This is a political topic. The thing about this is that they make a comment, then inevitably there will be lots of words in the live stream, and he make a comment and other people may also make a comment, and it ends up the comments will contain lots of taboo words, meaning that words that Google see those words, they will ban your channel. They will give you a strike, and then they will kick you out. There's a censorship going on. So anyway, I was talking. You are talking about political topic, and someone disagree, then almost inevitably a bunch of words like I don't want to mention them. A bunch of these political sensitive words, they will be mentioned. I mean, because these words, because they are part of the topic, you cannot talk about let's say terrorism or bomb. Okay, you can when there's news about that, you have to it would be hard to talk about that without those words. So in the same way, there are many other words regarding today's political situation. So when I was talking about that and someone disagree and those words come up, then what you gonna do? Normally, there's no problem. Okay, I love to debate. So so you disagree. Let's see why. So why do you disagree? And we can use all words you want. Including fuck. This is called this is what free speech means. Offensive. The essence, the essential meaning of free speech is offensiveness, because if that element does not exist, you don't need free speech. Everyone is happy. Happy speech. Pleasing speech, ass kissing speech. the essence, the defining quality of the free speech concept is offensiveness. Okay, so anyway, the issue is, I was talking, about some political topics, Carl Sagan, and someone disagreed, and quickly, because Carl Sagan, quickly there's this bunch of words that Google sees will ban you. So I have a problem. So what am I going to do? Normally it's fine. Okay, normally I just let's talk about it. You disagree. Let's discuss. But because Google, because this censorship is going on, I cannot just talk about it because I talk about it, then Google see those words in my string. I get banned. So that is the problem. Basically, essentially, that is the problem. That happened yesterday. Yesterday, all those words in my live stream, and like when you talk about, today. So this is really bad. Today's political situation. I blame the social justice gang. Okay, the social justice people. So this is the issue. Google is, there's a widespread censorship all going on Twitter, on YouTube, on Facebook. It's upheaval, political upheaval, and it's creating instability in countries, in USA, in UK, in Australia. It's creating instabilities. Instabilities means war, civil war. Okay, you're gonna so So why does this Google censorship begin? Why are they starting to censor? It used to be USA is the most. Freedom of speech is the obsession of every American. We don't every topic. Whenever we talk about some topic, immediately someone will mention, free speech, and everyone is good. That was the situation. But today is somewhat. It's almost like made a 180-degree turn. You know, it's like the political party. They are saying no, you cannot. This free speech is not allowed. They have uh, you know, it's hard to imagine. This is happening. So anyway, so Google and censorship. When you look at Wikipedia, okay, let's go to Wikipedia. Wikipedia censorship. Yeah. So let's search for. I was amazed. I was amazed when about 2 years ago, 2006 or 2017, 2016 or 17. I check Wikipedia. I check. I have like 8,000 links to Wikipedia from my website. I read it. I read Wikipedia for like 2 hours a day, for the past 15 years. So anyway, some articles I check regularly, like every 2 years or so. Censorship article is one of the article I check, now and then. So you see, here is a picture of David. That his stick is censored. That this kind of censorship used to be. It's typical in America. It used to be common by the God believers, U.S. conservatives. Okay, but this is then not today is something different. Well, anyway, I want to let's get back to the topic about there is a map of censorship that shows which country is being censored today. Okay. Uh, oh, they changed. Oh my God. Okay, so this is a change here. You see, so in this map, China is big censorship. And pink Russia is some censorship. Green is no censorship, and yellow is kind of a slight censorship. Censorship that someone changed this. Back in 2007. We can actually go to 2017 Wikipedia article. But anyway, my point is I was surprised to see this map where since USA becomes kind of like pink, if I recall correctly, like heavy censorship, and I think that is true. but now they changed it again, and I think that's basically just the doings of social justice people. They are trying to do fake news and lie and stuff. So anyway, censorship is going on like all over. Like I cannot say certain words. Google is gonna ban me right now. So anyway, there's this incident. So why does censorship happen? Because, in my opinion, because of the social justice scam. Okay, they are changing the USA. This great country, I would say, they are changing it so that it's become very unstable. And in fact, China, technology, engineering, they are like almost like taking over. No progress in USA. But anyway, that is my opinion. That's what I see. And this is, you may or may not agree, but this is like critical issue. So about this census, so in my opinion, it's because the social justice can people. Okay. So yesterday I was talking about Carl Sagan. He's one of those people who are against social justice. But then there's this guy. It's kind of my acquaintance or borderline acquaintance and friend. Okay, I don't really know him. Maybe you, Danielle, you are watching now. I'm gonna talk about the whole situation. So anyway, he follows me since about 4 months ago, and a great guy, a friend, almost a friend, except I've never met him and I only know him for like because for 4 months, and he contributed to my Sapphire keys, and he's using Vorak and using Sapphire keys, so it's great. It's going to be great friendship, except yesterday and the day before, in the past week, when I talk about Sargon Akkad, he disagreed. Okay, but he expressed opinions that, reasons for his disagreement, and the way I see it, just a few sentences. I cannot possibly agree. Okay, you see, politics often cuts friendship. This is a serious phenomenon. Politics, political issues, cuts family ties, cuts friendship, and when civil war happens, there are civil wars. There are civil wars in China. There are civil wars in USA. When civil war happens, you not just cut your friend. You stab each other with your family, your brothers, your sister. You're gonna when civil war comes, we each person are forced to do that. You have to, when civil war happens, you are forced to, because it's kind of like you have to choose a side, or you die. It's kind of like that. So anyway, so he just disagreed about my opinion about Sargon Akkad, and he gave his reasons, but those, just only a few sentences. Online. Oh, hold on a second. Let me close the window. So there's a garbage truck coming by, making a lot of noises. So so I'm saying, the civil war is something very bad. You don't want it. You don't want it to happen. You don't want your country to be politically unstable. That is the thing. So anyway, he made a comment, and his reason about Sargon Akkad, I cannot possibly agree. Okay, it's such a statement. I cannot possibly agree. So, normally I would say no, I disagree, and ask why do you think that, and talk about that. But I cannot, because censorship. because he gave some reasons with these words. Google see that those words. Google is going to ban my channel. So what am I gonna do? I disagree. So normally I just ask him why, and let's talk. That's what talk is about: discussion, or debate, or and and also this is a talk show. So we talk, but I cannot talk, and because this topic, you have to, those words are part of the topic. That is the. It's not like you can just use some other words. Okay, those social justice kind of things. They have a bunch of things. So like so that is kind of the problem. So someone disagrees, who is like a friend, okay, and I disagree. So but this is a very sensitive topic, and Google is like looming over. He's like any moment I'm gonna be banned. I don't want to be banned right now. So anyway, so here's the problem. So that is the problem. So what am I supposed to do? So I was thinking, I don't know. Basically, in general, I'm not sure what to do about that. Okay. For example, there are a few options. For example, one option is I don't care. Okay, someone disagree with my opinion about some political issues. I pretend there's no censorship by Google. I just keep talking. Oh, why is that? Oh, you think that? No, no, that is actually wrong, because let me show you this article. We talk about it. Then tomorrow Google banned me. That's okay. That's one of the options. If I don't care about Google banning me, but but I'm running Google Ads. That's how I survive. I'm making $1,000 a month. Okay, that is my full income. If you go wash dishes in a restaurant, you go mop floors at McDonald's, you make like $3,000 $4,000 a month. I'm making $1,000 a month, so I'm on the survival situation. And how I survive is because Google ads, ads from Google. So if Google banned me, that's not gonna be good. Okay, that's a problem. So I cannot just take like normal people, and like pretending that Google, the banning does not happen. So I cannot do that. So what are the other options? Maybe I'm thinking. You think that let's show my runic screen. So the other option is that you look at all the YouTubers. There are many famous ones. There's Joe Rogan. There is, of course, Jordan Peterson. There's Camille Paglia. Okay, there is Rubin Report, Dave Rubin Report. There's Tim Pool or Tim Cast. These are famous YouTube stars. They each one have, I think each one has a million followers or close, and their viewership is actually more than CNN. CNN is falling apart, and this fake news. CNN by the social justice gun fuckheads. Okay, CNN is falling apart. They have actually less viewers than Tim Pool. Just like a person who report news on YouTube. But anyway, so you look at these YouTube channels. Tim Pool, Joe Rogan, Dave Rubin, Jordan Peterson, of course, Camille Paglia, and quite a lot, quite a lot, and Sargon of Akkad, the Carl Benjamin guy, and Shu on Head, and many speaking against the social justice scam, these lying scumbags. Typically they are very rich. They are celebrities or head of Google, Facebook. Or on the other hand, some of them are very poor. They are like pawns, like the Antifa. They are homeless, and they are unhappy, and they do violence on the street for the social justice, the social justice tenets, their theories. So anyway, you look at these YouTubers. You look at them, what they do. First of all, of course, many of them, they don't get monetized. YouTube has this monetization thing. That is why all these people are on YouTube. Without monetization, they wouldn't be doing much of what they do. Some of them might still do it, but it's because money. They really put effort and grow their audience. But anyway, all these people. So you look at them. First of all, there's a monetization issue. A lot of them, you cannot like even report news. Like there's a bombing happened, or there's some, I don't want to say the word, okay, news. News. People get hurt. You go to YouTube. If you are a journalist, you report it, bad, you got demonetized. you know because why? Because the social justice scam fucks. They are controlling, they are lying and controlling this information. Okay, now if I'm going to die because I speak of against the social justice issue, that's fine. Okay, now let's get back. So I look at those. So first of all, there's a demonetization issue, which I'm not making any money on YouTube. Why? Because about 2 years ago, Google, again, because of the social justice, Google, they eliminated any people who doesn't have like 1,000 followers. They kicked out all those people. Like in order to have to make money on YouTube, you have to have at least 1,000 followers, or you must have the watch time of your videos must exceed certain number. So Google sent me an email. Oh, sorry, so recently we made, they send this to everyone. This happened about a year or two ago. So they don't let anyone, small people, that is, make videos, make money. Only when you are big, they let you make money. Anyway, so I don't have monetization on YouTube. And I guess I don't think I'm not hoping for that. So first of all, I don't have monetization on YouTube, so that demonetization doesn't uh, matter to me for now. Okay, so but then you look at these famous YouTubers. Besides demonetization, uh, some of them, yes, they get banned. Not banned. But, YouTube has this since maybe a few years ago strike system. Like you get a strike, you cannot do live stream anymore, because if you talked about some of these sensitive things, and people report you. So they are so and some people, some of the more extreme cases, like Alex Jones. There's this guy Alex Jones, Infowar. He's a fuckhead. Okay, he's a he's a intentionally creating this fake news, this conspiracy theories about UFOs, about aliens. Okay, this Alex Jones fuckhead. So he got banned. Now, he got banned. That's a big controversy, because if you look at from the free speech perspective, he should not be banned, because even though he talks about nonsense, but let him talk. You talk your things, I talk my things. Let people decide who is right. But anyway, he got banned, uh, and okay, you on YouTube, on a lot of these other places, Facebook and Twitter, a lot of people got banned, typically conservatives, including, for example, one of the big instances is that there is this woman, Megan something, okay, from Canada. She is, as far as I know, some kind of a hardcore feminist. Feminism is part of the social justice scam. So he's kind of the hardcore feminist, but he's anti the trans. Okay, the I I'm starting to mention these words. That these are the words that Google is going to start to ban you. So she is anti this, let's say, transformation. Okay, let's substitute the word. She is anti transformation, and there's a word called describe this type of group people. Anyway, the social justice situation is that they you know they are, in my opinion, they are called what they basically they just want to fuck around. That's the core thing. They don't care about anything else. They want more power and money. That's what they want, and they do that to all by all means possible. They create the philosophy that what they do, their direction, their behavior is based on this postmodernism. Okay, which is kind of like the philosophy of winning by all means possible. So anyway, so because they are not, kind of rational or logical or scientific, they create this, what they say, the things they say they do is like self-conflicting. So anyway, the bottom line is right now there is a war between themselves about, this feminist group versus the transformation group. Like, which bathroom to use, and should it be allowed or not allowed, things like that. Anyway, she got banned on Twitter. Okay, so that's the thing. That is the thing, and a lot of people on Twitter got banned, mostly conservatives, but some of them, she's not conservative. I don't think she's part of the left. So the point is there's a lot of censorship in going on, but YouTube, I think it happens. So it's a good thing that YouTube is not as severe on YouTube as compared to Facebook or Twitter. But it's there. So that's what I'm saying. So what I'm saying. So back to the previous topic. So I look at these YouTubers, and social justice is kind of the topic. Is their main topic. So I look at them. What do they do? When there's with this kind of situation. Mostly they use these words. They talk. They because otherwise how you gonna say it? Social justice issues. For example, they are concerned about feminism, gays, marriage, trans, and immigration, and these kind of things. I'd rather not mention, and bullying, harassment, and so on. Um, so they seems to be okay. For them to talk about it, although they get demonetized, for sure they get demonetized, but they are not they are not being banned yet. Okay, so maybe I'm thinking, so there it is. Maybe I can do that just like them. I okay demonetize. I don't okay. I don't. I'm not making money, and so I want to talk about Carl Benjamin, the social justice things, the Sargon of Akkad. I want to talk about it. If you disagree, we can still talk about it. And then then and let's see what happens. So that's one of the option. That's what I can do. Yeah. So 10 people watching. Okay. So I'm so to wrap it up. I think I talked about this kind of long. So this issue about the social justice. My channel. The reason I'm doing YouTube videos is one as a record of myself, like a history record. Like one day tomorrow I'll be gone anytime. I who knows? I'll be gone anytime. So when I'm gone, there's a this is what Sali looks like. This is what his thoughts are. There's a record of it. That's part of the reason. The other reason is that because I'm observing humanity and futurology. Where human animals are going. I look at, especially with respect to technology. Because I'm a programmer, I'm a nerd. So I observe. YouTube. Okay, there's a YouTube. There's these websites going on. There's a AI happening. The robotics. So I kind of observe, and one thing I observed is that YouTube becomes video format becomes increasingly tremendously popular, and also I'm interested in from philosophical aspects. So so this is interesting because if you look at communication between human animals, you have reading and writing, by literature, text, books. Then you have video. Video is actually the more natural, because a lot of people actually, to to read and write actually takes learning, years. In the case of Chinese, it takes more than 6 years to learn, writing Chinese characters. In English, you go to, grade school, middle school, high school, you take, 6 years too, to be able to read, news, journalism, all the fancy words. But talking and speaking, that is actually far more natural. That is not, reading and writing is actually an art, a sort of artificial endeavor among human animals. It's sort of artificial because, if you look at anthropology, human history, in the first 10,000 years, you don't have writings. Then you started maybe some carving. You don't have writing systems. In fact, a lot of languages, you don't have writings. You have talking, but there's no writing for that language. And then you borrow some other, countries writing alphabet, or writing system. For example, Chinese is borrowed by Japanese. You know, you know. So so in short, read, writing and reading is kind of like this difficult, educated, and esoteric kind of thing. It requires learning, but talking and looking at other people speaking, you watch other people. That is natural. That is fundamental to all animals, not just human animals. Dogs, cats, lions, elephants. They watch other cats. Their king. They watch their behavior. They watch their expressions. Their ears. Their dogs wag their tails, or cats, wag their tails. They have different signals. They have, so watching and speaking, or meowing, that is actually natural. So back to YouTube. So I observed, YouTube, this video technology is kind of new, because today, due to the phone primarily, it allows everyone to make videos, and video, the format is actually natural, so that is the part of the reason why there's a tremendous growth of YouTube. Not just YouTube. In China, they have, for example, China has China's video platforms. But YouTube, I think, is the biggest. Worldwide, is the biggest video platform. So there are tremendous people watching YouTube, and also making YouTube videos. So I, as an observer, I was someone, a nerd interested in this kind of thing, and human, future, what we're gonna be. So so I find, that's interesting. So that is the other reason I'm starting to make YouTube videos, so I can talk to people. And because I'm doing programming, a lot of my writings, blogs are about programming tutorials, Unicode, these symbols, and math symbols, symbology, or the meaning of the symbols. So programming language. Um, let's see, programming language tutorials, or programming language design, programming language, this kind of thing. So I can make a video version of them. I can, teach people how to write JavaScript, or instead of just my textual tutorials. So that's a good thing, and I enjoy doing them. So that is why I'm doing YouTube videos. So yeah, in summary, two reasons. One is a record of Sali. The other reason is just exploration, and talk to people about these things. Okay, so let me also summarize about the main topic I was talking about how to manage the situation where when you talk about political topics or controversial topics that Google is going to ban you. So what am I going to do? Actually, I don't have a real solution, but I think just just be calm. If people disagree with you, anyone, I don't, Danielle, I don't care if you disagree. That is fantastic. Okay, that is fantastic. I can see your point of view. I don't mind. I don't. You see, I don't mind. So what? So what am I gonna do? So I think what I'm going to do is just relax and talk about it. Not try to avoid these words that's too sensitive. And I think I should perhaps avoid you know uh, trying to get angry about these social justice people. Try to avoid like swearing at them, something like that. uh, so instead try the approach of being more let's say mellow. Okay, just so about social justice, I don't think they are right. I think they are just bad people. Instead of saying, oh, the social justice scam, the social justice fuckheads. Okay. so 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 I think maybe that is what I'll do. And I think so far, if I do that, then that would be okay for now. I hope so. So according to my opinion, so you wish the best thing, hope for the world, for USA, for other white nations, UK, or well, actually for the whole world. You just hope that, let's put it this way, you hope bad things go away. You hope that people do not lie, people do not steal, people do not do these things, things everyone would agree to be patently bad. you know and that's what I can, I guess what we can hope for. uh you know yeah. So that is about that social justice thing. So maybe we talk about rune then, the rune script. Hey, good morning, Dion. How are you doing? No chatting today. I was going on a rant, a tirade. Not really a tirade, but anyway, I was talking about were you here like all this time? I was talking about the incident yesterday, about how what what are you going to do when you talk about political topics, and your followers may not agree, then but you might get banned by Google. So what do you do about this situation? I was talking about that on my own. um, and other people, because other people will be watching. Like today the social network is such that on Twitter, on Facebook, you got a lot of people following you, but you don't know almost most of the time you don't know who they are. And it is actually true that some of them are your enemies. In American society, you don't, like, when you say, "Oh, your enemy," people went nuts because they typically don't consider a person has enemies. Especially today. They all like, "Oh, help the world, my ass." This. But anyway, so I'm saying, on social network, you have a lot of people. Whenever you are on social network, everything you post is public, and you don't know. All the people is gonna see it. It's gonna go to places that you will never imagine. So yeah, so I'm saying, my video, so there will be a lot of people. I don't know who what you'll be watching it. Today or next month or a year after. So Ergo says, I want to make a shirt for myself with four run letters. RTFM. So let's see what RTFM is in run. So okay, let's talk about, I'm gonna talk maybe 10 minutes about run. Let's see who might be interested. So let's see RT RTFM. Okay, so that looks like that. So let me tell you what run is. Okay, actually there are a lot of variations. Uh, Dion says, I heard some of it. Your willingness to find a calm perspective is admirable. Thank you. Looks awesome, man. Okay, so run, this run script. Okay, they are used from year 150 to 1500, and they are used for Germanic languages. It's a family of language called Germanic languages, and Germanic languages are divided into three groups: North Germanic, West Germanic, and East Germanic. So North Germanic are Danish, Norwegian, Swedish, Icelandic, Faroese. So it's like a Scandinavia, basically, where the Thor, the superhero Thor, came from. That's North Germanic. West Germanic is English, German, and Dutch. So Run is the writing system for English. You can say that. That is part of the reason I noticed a lot nerds are fascinated by Run. And East Germanic is kind of is Gothic. It's extinct. So no language uh, people speak now. That's extinct. So Run is used by Germanic languages, and Germanic languages have three groups: North, West, and East. Okay, that's one thing. So the other thing is that there are actually a lot of variations of the run script. So you see, these are all the run characters, but actually, there are these different alphabets made out of run. So there's Elder Furthok, used around year 100 to 800. So this is Elder Furthok. Then you have Anglo-Saxon runs, which is basically used in England, used by England. The Germanic people moved to UK, United Kingdom. You moved to England, and they started to use this set called Anglo-Saxon runs. That's used around year 400 to 1100. Then you have younger Furthok runs. Younger Furthok. There are two variations of it. One is called long branch. The other one is short branch. You see, short branch is kind of like abridged. The shortened symbol. The run characters, they look like kind of like tree. A tree branch. So this form is long branch, and then you have short branch. They call it short twig. Then you have medieval runes, which has the most number of characters. And medieval runes is used around 1100 to year 1500. So yeah, that's runes. It's basically the writing system for Germanic languages back then. But you don't use runes today because they got basically run got replaced by Latin alphabets. Basically, I read Wikipedia. I don't know about this subject. All I know is from Wikipedia. I read in the past week or two. So run disappeared because apparently because Christian people uh, moved or spread. This Christian people moved to Scandinavia or around the region. They spread the Latin alphabet. So characters got replaced, died out, and so Latin alphabet is used instead. Which is what we are familiar today, the English ABC. So you see, so there are these different run alphabets. So when you want to write a program that translate English characters to run, you have to decide. You have to kind of decide on a table of which characters map to which. So I plan to expand this application so that you can choose which alphabet you want to use, which one of the run alphabet, Elder Furthog, or Anglo-Saxon, or younger or medieval run. Looks awesome. It's like a writing system that was based on placing found tricks of a certain shape on the ground. Uh, Roman Vinta. Roman Vinta. What does that mean? So Dion, are you? So what's your ancestry? If I can, may I ask? Like, are you? So were you? Your parents or parents of parents, are they from Europe? Are they from Germany, or are they from? So in other words, what is your blood? When it comes to Roman unconquered, when it comes to lexicon diction, the words you use, in the past few years I developed a thought where we should avoid any euphemism as much as possible, uh, to such a degree that I even started to replace common words that's typically not considered euphemism, but replace them by words that's more primitive. For example, instead of asking, what's your ancestry? Ancestry is a word. You know what it means, right? Like your lineage, family lineage. That's another word for kind of the same thing. Ancestry, your family lineage. Replace them by what's your blood? You know, because why blood? Because that is actually the more primitive word. That word, people understand back then, 2,000 years ago or more, because that is the real, the nature, the fundamental, that the part of human animal. But as civilization, so-called civilization, or as industrialization, modern society, things gets more and more complicated and complex. Like, today you eat, you don't know how your food came from. You eat meat. You eat cow, beef. You eat cow. Basically, you eat pigs. You kill. You go out, kill the pig. Blood dripping. You kill it. Then you cut it up. Then you eat. That's what bacon is. Hamburger. That's everyone does every day. But as society gets more complex, we don't know. We forgot. Like you go to hamburger. How is hamburger made? You don't know. Have you seen how is pig killed? No, I've never seen how is a pig killed. Do you? Can you kill a pig? No. And even when you say kill a pig or kill a cow, people get like, what are you talking about? Like people don't know what that means. People think that's maybe that's offensive. There's something like, but that's what you are doing like every day. You have not just you have massive slaughterhouse. Automated kill by how many? 1,000 a day? No. 10,000 a day? No. 100,000 a day? Yeah, probably more. Just in USA. That's what it is. So I like to stick to truth, and whatever is the real thing. So that's kind of that's so I kind of started to do this to you might say experiment with these wording and phrases in language. So anyway, so I think maybe that's it about it today. So we have so this censorship. Yeah, so I'm kind of sad. So apparently this map got changed by by certain people of yeah, yeah. I was actually yesterday I was watching a video where there is this woman who is a expert on detecting lies. Like you look at the person, you're talking to whatever your friends, your family, your coworkers. If they lie, you'll be able to tell. You'll be able to tell right away by by observing their facial expressions, by looking at noticing some kind of pattern, muscle movement. And supposedly that's a trend. Supposedly you can actually do that, and also it is actually true that there are a lot of psychologists. There are a lot of scientific studies about how to detect lie. And much of that, I think it's reasonable, it's true. But anyway, let me show you the YouTube video. Uh, Detect lie. Let's see. Detect lies, body language. Uh, it was a TED talk. Yeah, her. I think that's her, but it's a different video. Uh, no, that's not her. I was watching another person. Uh, her. How to spot a liar. Pam- Pamela Mayer. And she has a Wikipedia entry, so supposedly she is a expert on this. Um, and it's also interesting in science fictions. I've seen on some science fiction TV, on YouTube. I've seen that they have, in this supposedly, in science fiction, you have certain aliens or human who was born or designed, genetically designed or something, such that they can always tell a lie. And actually, this is in Blade. There's a movie Blade Runner. yeah, there's also a thing about detecting lie. So that is very interesting, and yeah, you know, lies. But but I think there is more than that. I mean, it is. I think it is true that you can spot lie. You can, if you are well trained in this, if you spend time to study this and observe, you can spot lie. But the catch is that you can spot lie of most people, of most untrained liars, but it will be difficult or impossible to do that for someone who are a trained liar, professional liar, or a liar who is very good. Like you can establish that skill. That's kind of like lying is just a skill, just like speaking, oration. So I think to spot lies from common people is not difficult. In fact, we are going in a direction where AI is starting to do it. There are cameras all over. Like today, everywhere is camera. I wouldn't be surprised. There's already a company that is doing the technology where, like in interview, automatically analyze the video, and we'll be able to tell here he's lying or she's lying. Yeah, I'm pretty sure there's already a company doing that. So this is the thing, it's happening. This is one of the thing that's going on with the AI, and it has, I would say, it has huge consequences. But also, I like to say, it is my opinion that you cannot easily detect lies uh, from people who are, like you can say professional or skilled. So if that is true, if you agree with me on that, then basically the entire lie detection becomes it becomes a different thing. It's not as useful as before, because when people actually want to lie, they can, and they can do it successfully. You are not, you don't think that, oh, there is this technology to detect lie, therefore you can always spot lies. No, I don't think that that is the case. So this only has, I think, limited use. It one thing, um, it's easy to lie. I'm gonna teach you, okay? Kasali talk show. I'm a genius. One thing to lie. Uh, Anyone, even she cannot detect it. How? By lying to yourself. In fact, most politicians are doing that. For example, what's the example of doing that? For example, let's say uh, politicians do that all the time. Like for example, gay marriage. Let's say pick some controversial topic. Well, let's pick something else. Maybe something less controversial. Um, yeah, okay, let's say something like Clinton. Okay, the president Clinton, he slept with a intern, right? Uh, or Trump, Trump, is supposedly he also slept with this woman, Danielle Stormy Danielle or something. So there's a situation, so when when people ask you, the journalists ask you, did you do it? Did you do it? And then you have to say, in front of thousands of cameras, did you do it or not? So you want to lie. So suppose you did, okay, but you want to lie. What to do? You do that by lying to yourself. So you want to convince yourself you absolutely did not, okay. But even you did, but first of all, you want to convince yourself uh, that, you know by whatever it is up to you, something you this happens in a lot of issues where morality, a strong opinion about morality is concerned. So, for example, you can think that, I never did that, because if I did that, that would be utterly wrong. That would be something, something you despise, you hate, you think that's the worst possible thing to do. Like each person is different. You have your certain things. So you want to, just like think that. Then you like, they cannot tell. Okay, that's it for today. Uh, Roman. So what? Anything else? Any questions? Any questions? So I'm working on this. Let's switch to JavaScript. So on this run script, I have, let's magnify. Let's turn off that. Let's magnify so you can see I have this run script. So this is Elder Thock. This is Anglo-Saxon run. This is younger long branch run, and this is younger short twig run. So yeah, I'm working on that. Anyway, where do I live? I live in USA, of course. I mean Mountain View, which is what they call Silicon Valley. So Google, Google, PayPal, Netscape, it's Apple is over here. Where are you from? Ergo King. So Dion says, I need to work on learning a better programming language than Python. I decided the day before yesterday learning Python was a big mistake. uh, from Berlin. Oh, wow, great, fantastic. Ergo is from Berlin. Oh, but blood is Russian. Oh, Russian, great. Um, so Dion says, I'm thinking either Go or Lisp. I do mostly network programming. Oh, absolutely. Especially for network programming. Go for Golang. Absolutely. Why? Because one, Golang will have 100 times more jobs than Go. No, that's wrong. 1,000 times more jobs than Lisp. No, that's wrong. 10,000 times more jobs than Lisp. Still wrong. 10,000. 10,000 is about right. Okay, so first of all, Golang will have 10,000 times more jobs than Lisp, meaning more options for you. If you one day want to make money out of your expertise of a programming language. So first of all, Golang. Secondly, Golang is a live company, a live language. Lisp is kind of is basically dead. Okay, it's a you can do this, but it will be in this niche community where you got bunch of weird people like myself, very weird people. They don't have a job. They trying to do open source or something. They very in general very weird people. Not regular. They don't have a job, and uh, that's Lisp. Okay, well, actually, but also, I mean, doesn't matter what Lisp. Right now, the most popular Lisp that has some job prospect is Clojure. But again, compared to Python, Golang, Ruby, or JavaScript, Clojure is like, there's no, for each Clojure programmer, you have 10,000 JavaScript, also 10,000 Golang programmers. It's like a niche, and yeah. So I absolutely do not recommend this. uh, well, also, let me give you, I haven't finished. So one reason is jobs. So 10,000 times more jobs for Golang. Okay. The other reason is Lisp is kind of dying. It's kind of dead. Okay. You have few options. You have Clojure, which is very alive. Okay. Clojure is alive. Um, you have Racket Scheme, which is kind of alive. It's what Racket Scheme is academic language. Okay, so unless you're gonna be a professor, researcher, joining academia, doing graduate as a graduate student, you are not going and also it's kind of dying. Racket Lisp. Then you have Scheme Lisp. Is that's also kind of dying. Okay, you have Common Lisp. It's also dead. Common Lisp, it's dead, meaning that there are very, 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 very few people actually program it. And also, the commonest language is dead like 20 years ago. There's no improvement to it whatsoever since 20 years ago. The only real, if you really want to go Lisp, the only, I would say, nah, I wouldn't go Lisp at all. Clojure is okay, but Clojure has one major problem. That is, it is married to Java. So if you really want to know Clojure, if you really want to master Clojure, you actually necessarily, now don't listen to all the Clojure fans what they are saying, but listen to what I'm saying. Okay, so you have to know Java in detail, the whole entirety of Java, if you really want to be expert of Clojure. That is a situation, because Clojure, for one reason, I have articles on it. Clojure, for reasons, they are intimately tied to Java, and also intentionally so, because Java is one of the most popular language. You have 10,000 jobs in Java. Same with Golang. They are comparable. Golang, Python, Java, JavaScript. All these are industrial popular languages. So 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 Java has lots of programmers. It's mainstream. Okay, but then you have Clojure. Clojure want to ride on the popularity of Java. That's one of the goal. That's one of the tactics of growing Clojure. So you Clojure says, hey Java programmers, you wanna do functional programming? Come over. We are Clojure. We are on top of Java virtual machine. So, and everything you know about Java works here too. So that's their tactics to become popular. So because you ride on the Java popularity. Most Java programmers, they are not, Java is kind of the enterprise language. The Java people, they are not into functional programming. They are not into, monad, let's do some tail recursion. They are not interested in that. Okay, so Java, they are the kind of boring enterprise programming, and you have lots of them used in companies, like with database backend and so on. So one of the tactics for Clojure to grow is to ride on the Java popularity. You know, so that is the reason. Okay, Clojure is like intertwined with Java. Intentionally, because every documentation of Clojure, I have two articles, okay, about that. So let's go to, let me show you Xali Clojure Java. Clojure's popularity, a tango with Java. and why clojure is dense. So I did clojure for about a year full time, around 2016. No, actually around 2000. Okay, 2016. I was puzzled. Why is clojure? Why is clojure kind of very much integrated with Java? I mean, to me, I like Lisp, right? So I want to, I like Lisp, and clojure is a Lisp. So to me, it's like, oh, I'm going to learn clojure. This is great. So I'm gonna have another language I really love and I can use, and it's industrial too. It's great. But in my journey into clojure, I discovered clojure is like intentionally heavily intertwined with Java. Now, I despise Java, okay? Anything about Java, I hate very, very, very much because the language, the whole baggage of JVM, many, so I don't like Java, but Clojure, okay, Clojure is on top of JVM. Okay, that's okay. But I'm thinking, but at least it's a new language, it's not Java. Well, you can use Java things if you want within Clojure, but you don't have to, right? So I kind of like, yeah, that's great. I'm going to learn Clojure, but it turns out, in the process, I learned Clojure is not a independent language. Like I was thinking, okay, yeah, you can have a language on top of JVM, but the language spec for Clojure is clean, and it's just like a Lisp. You can study, you can master the whole Clojure without actually learning Java stuff. That's not true. In fact, it's the opposite. Clojure, the language, if you really try to master them, as opposed to just copy and paste code. If you really try to understand what is its list structure, what is its array structure, it's intertwined with Java, and I was and unnecessarily so. So I was quite puzzled. Eventually, I understood. This is my conclusion. Okay, Clojure is that way because it's trying to intentionally trying to ride on top of Java popularity. To so that Java programmers can easily come to Clojure, and which means companies with big corporations, these billion-million dollar corporations, they will use Clojure because their programmers can easily start to use Clojure even if they don't know, because that is the reason Clojure is intertwined with Java, which is kind of sad. But when I talk to, of course, Clojure programmers, typically Lisp fans, they don't know, they don't it's like when you talk to Lisp fans, it's typical code situation happens. They don't they just they like me, okay, they want to believe, they want to believe in Clojure, but instead of trying to, like me, pick these criticisms and attack, and point them out. They don't do that. They follow they want to believe. They say, oh, Clojure is great. Nah, Clojure is great on top of Java. They don't see the problem with Java. When I ask them, when they read my article, their response is typically, yeah, you are right, but you don't have to know Java stuff. You can just do Clojure. You don't really have to know Java. That's yeah, yeah. That is if you are staying at the beginner level. You don't intend to really understand the language. So do you want me to tell? Do you want me to tell you what you hate? What do you hate, Dion? So that a trap? Is that a trap? Because you can directly tell me without telling me that you are going to tell me. So Ergo says, aha, good, you landed on Emacs. What do you mean? I've been using Emacs for 20 years. Uh, And so first name says whenever I find difficulty, I blame the lack of detailed documentation of those inferior terrible tutorials. Yeah. Okay, Dion. Dion is going to tell us what he hate. Uh, so Dion. So after this, I think we're gonna shut down because it's been 80 minutes. So Dion says, hate feeling helpless. My opinion about Python, Java, and most other things is that they foster ignorance and eventually helplessness by providing a layer around the thing you actually need to understand in such a way that leaves you ignorant. Okay, but I don't really. I mean, I don't see. I kind of see the point, but I kind of see your point, but not exactly in detail. Um, they foster ignorance. They provide a layer. What do you mean? Well, because they are high level languages, right? Higher level languages usually are like that. So Dion says you always have this thick crust underneath you of something which you have to hope of understanding thoroughly, and you just have to give all your power up to the programming language or library programmers. Yeah, I'm not sure I understand what you mean. Because most, Python, at least Python, they are higher level languages. So usually, usually they are. So Dion says, I'm not against higher level languages, but we have Tower of Babel with way too many layers. Yeah, okay, but what do you mean by layers? Like what? Like what? And the layers do not mesh together. Okay, it's not easy to describe. Yeah, I can understand that. Yes, yeah. Well, I mean, some of these, these programming concepts, and same thing with me. That when you want to express them, it's not easy sometimes because it's complicated thought. Sometimes you have to actually think for an hour, then you understand exactly what is the issue, then you can describe it. And this is actually a phenomenon in sciences as well, in math, in sciences in general, because when you have, and also in philosophy, and also it happens in everyday life when you talk to people. Like sometimes when you're talking, when you want to say something, but you don't know quite the word, and then you start to use an analogy, trying to, like, you try to express something by, by analogy or by going around. But the thing is, you see, when if you are interested in logic, philosophy, sometimes you, like Peter Jolison, the way, sometimes you are wondering what is the exact word to describe certain thinking. Usually often there's a word, not always, like there's one word that captures the whole concept or emotion. For example, side effect is one such word. That side effect describe is a concept in functional programming that describe the situation where a function's input and output does not always depend on input. That is what side effect is. I remember like 25 years ago, I was trying to describe this situation where a function's output does not depend on input. I was saying that, Then Stefan Wolfram says, "Oh, you mean side effect?" And at the time, I don't know, no computer science, nothing. Never studied anything, except the mathematical language. And I said, "Oh, side effect. Yes, side effect." That's the first time I heard the word side effect. And so that you see, the word captures the concept. You see, and this is true for lots of things. Like, if you never went through the education system, or if you never studied did something, you don't know the word. Sometimes, the word for it, there's often, not always, a word. Then suddenly, if someone mentioned a side effect, it lights up. Oh yes, right, side effect. How, that word seems to describe the whole thing. Side effect. And similarly for many concepts and expressions. uh, Dion says, for example, Python. Uh, so Dion says, by layer, I mean code that expands into other code in a way with unpredictable consequences. For example, Python code expands into God only knows what at the C level, with bytecode layer in between. You can even have layers that are abstract. For example, a monad doesn't correspond to any concrete property of computers. It is a mathematical object. So to implement it on a computer, you have to introduce a concept layer. Yeah, I see what you mean, but I still don't distinguish that from being high level language. I don't see the point about. Okay, maybe this is what you are saying. The Python, I don't like Python neither, because the way I also, so this also comes to me. So I think the reason, I think it's because there's a computer language model. That's the way I put it. So different programming languages, they have kind of this a kind of a model, model for the language on how it works. Kind of, you can think of it as a machine, some sort of virtual machine that the language actually deal with. I think maybe that is what you might be trying to say. Yeah, So anyway, by the way, how old are you, Dion? Like, I have no idea. Like in teens, probably not teens, but 20s, 30s, 40s. Um, let's see. Okay, that's about it. 29. Okay, good. You are on your prime. Okay, so thank you guys for watching. Uh, Goodbye, Ego. Uh, Jiang. Hi, Jiang. So goodbye, Dion. Goodbye, guys.